Warning, this podcast contains content that is not suitable for minors. There will also include spoilers on certain content talked about throughout the show. Viewer discretion is advised. How's it going? Welcome to the Secret Cellar. My name's Kyle, 23 years old. Been watching anime for 3 years. And this is going to be the first episode of the Secret Cellar.
Hi, my name's Dylan. I'm 21 and I've been watching anime for the same 3 years. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you about some good anime.
I mean, I feel like we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, like you said before, we literally sit on the phone for hours talking about anime. We might as well put it out there for other people to see, have other ideas. You know? I mean, everyone's got an idea about anime, but no one actually talks about it too much.
That's true. And I mean, I do think you and me talk maybe a little bit too much about anime.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, with this, I mean, like we said, we're not going to just talk about anime. It's probably going to be about, like, golf. That's some other hobbies of ours. So, like, both of us been playing golf for quite a while. I mean, you've been playing for 6-7 years now?
Yeah, I've been playing for about 6 years now. I just got into it because I worked at a golf course. But ever since then, I fell in love with the game. And so I do play golf pretty often. But other than that, I do like watching anime and just doing some other stuff now that I'm finally 21.
Yeah, we're probably going to the bars later.
Probably.
So, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. We've been friends for, 7-8 years now?
Yeah, I think
so
it's coming up on 8.
Yeah, so we've been... It's weird that, like, our patterns of, like, playing golf was the same. I mean, I started, like, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, you started a little bit after me.
Yeah, but, like, our anime was about the same.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know that we were both watching anime at first.
Yeah, how did we get into that, actually? I never thought about that.
It was probably from, like... You started talking about Naruto.
Oh, was that what it was when I first got into Naruto?
Yeah, because you were talking about Naruto, and I was like, wait, you watch anime? You're like, yeah, I watch anime. I've been watching it for 6 months now. I was like, it's really strange because, I've been watching anime for about 6 months to a year now. We haven't talked about it.
Yeah, and then after that, we really just started getting into the anime, just in general. I probably watched a little bit more than you, probably a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, you gave yourself a little bit too much free time to talk about anime.
Definitely, but I do think it was worth it in the end, though. I mean, we definitely bonded a lot more over anime and over golf as well.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there? I don't know. I mean, our families are pretty close now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we met on a cruise like 8 years ago now, which with our families and everyone else, which was fun.
Man, I was 15 then. Holy.
It was a fun time though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it was fun. I didn't. Oh, trust me, I would never give up those days.
First time I ever drank. It was a fun time though.
Yeah. What was that? Jamaica?
Yeah, in
was
Jamaica.
fun.
But
Yeah,
ever since then, you and me have become really good friends ever since then, and we try to golf around probably once a week.
Yeah, when I'm home.
For him it's a little bit more, but you can't really blame him for that.
It's because of work, dude. It's because of work.
Whenever he's home.
I could golf almost every single day if I really wanted to.
That's true. We all could. Wow. We hope we could.
All right, enough about us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the important stuff.
All right.
Let's talk about anime.
Got
it. So you made a list of romantic comedies or just romance
anime in general, a couple of romantic comedies.
All right, let's hear it because I've been watching a couple recently. So I think we could have those conversations finally.
Definitely now. Let me just find it on here. Alright, so the ones that we're going to go through today are going to be Toradora, Quintessential Quintuplets,
Okay.
Kaguya-sama, Rent a Girlfriend, Dress Up Darling, Your Lie in April, Fruits Basket, Tonikawa, Couple of Cuckoos, and finally Horimiya. Well, that's what we're going to start with, actually.
I want to start with Horimiya because I finished that up last night or the night before.
Yeah. So I told you about it. So tell me what
Yeah,
you think.
you told me about it about a couple months ago, and I added it to my list because I have a big list. I think
Apparently.
I think I'm like 185 animes
Jesus.
on my list.
On your list?
Just on my list. So
You're never getting through this.
no, because you know what happens? I watch one, I add two. That's what's been happening.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, so it's like.
So what do you think of it?
It wasn't bad. I actually really enjoyed it. I would honestly say for a romance, honestly, it would be a rom-com. I would consider it a rom-com. I mean, it was very funny.
It was funny.
I thought it was really funny. I thought it had a good script with like the whole romance thing. It wasn't your typical high school anime where it's just like the two people are trying to get together and they don't until like the very end of the series.
Yeah,
it was like it was like halfway through.
Yeah, they were very early on with that.
That was good. The one thing I had a problem with, which I get because it's 12 episodes and they were trying to get the entire manga in there, was the fact that it felt like it was just skipping through episodes, like not episodes but like volumes, like a decent amount of volumes they'd skip.
Yeah.
Because like you go from like summer to like it was almost wintertime.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing with that anime and was because it was so short, they didn't have enough time to take everything from the manga, so they did skip smaller portions that didn't really matter as much in most people's general opinions, but it was still good in my opinion. I really liked the meme.
How she likes being humiliated in public, yeah.
And the first time when she had him in her room, she goes, there was a fire in me.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it out.
Yeah,
or I wanted him to experience.
Yeah, whatever it was. That was
I think
the funniest moment to me.
No, I think the funniest scene was when Hori and Miyagaya or Gawa, whatever his name was, they were at the convenience store and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And Mia's waiting outside and Hori runs up to him and he just slaps at her. And the three guys that he used to go to school with are just like confused, and they're like, wow, that man's got a lot of balls.
Yeah, I remember that scene. Being funny.
I think that might have been the funniest scene in the whole anime.
Really?
That was so funny.
It was a good scene, actually.
But honestly, the whole anime was good. There wasn't a part in there where I was like, wow, this wasn't that great.
Yeah. I mean, that's when it's a short anime like that, though, and they've got a lot of source material.
Yeah, they can get away with that.
Yeah, there's never a part where it's not important, or two, it's just not enjoyable to watch.
The problem is you don't see that often, even with 12 episode animes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. There's definitely a couple out there that are, one, a little bit all over the place, and two, just a lot of boring parts in them. So
yeah, because like you got 12 episodes, you might as well make it stuff that's going to be interesting. But
yeah.
A lot of these, probably like what I was saying is trying to make the story like work. Mm-hmm. The other studios were probably trying to make it work, but it just made it boring.
Yeah, it falls flat a little bit.
Yeah,
I definitely get that. I mean, so to go off of that, you just watched Toradora as well. What did you think of that anime?
I could see why people like it.
Okay.
Right? I could see it, but it wasn't that great. It really wasn't. Like, on my anime list, I think it's rated like an 8.08.
Yeah. It's pretty high up there for a romance anime.
Yeah. Like, I would, like, let me just verify, but I'm pretty sure Horimiya is like...
It's like higher, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like 8.4 or 8.2.
Horimiya.
But the problem with me for that anime was definitely the ending just kind of was wild to me. Because think about it, it's supposed to be a romance anime, so they got through the whole romance part, and also some comedic parts where it was funny. And then at the end, they're just like, we're going to run away together.
It wasn't even, it was that And it was just like, all right, they ran away, and then they go back, and then the girl, Taiga, she runs off.
Yeah.
She just disappears. That's the ending. The ending is she just runs away from the person she was gonna. What's the word they use?
I think
Eloping.
Yeah. They're like gonna get married.
Yeah, they're gonna get married and run away and be on the road forever. But all of a sudden, she just picks up and leaves. She says, "I am out.
Yeah.
See ya.
Well,
I don't want to be part of that."
Did you watch the? I'm not sure if it was an ending credit scene, but at the end she does come back.
It might have been one of the OVAs. I didn't watch the OVAs. I've been just going through anime over anime.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't an OVA, but at the actual end of the show, the last like 30 seconds is him graduating. Like the main guy, and she's upstairs in the locker, and she like in a locker waiting for him. He sees her. He runs up there, and then that's how it ends. Is them seeing each other again after like 3 years or 4 years, however long they were away for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they were both going to high school, if I'm not wrong. So
yeah, they were in their
years.
second year, so it would have been about a year or so.
Yeah, year or two. But I mean, overall, I thought the show was good. The ending was kind of like wild to me, but other than that, I thought the show was pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that funny because it's titled a rom-com. I don't think it was really that funny.
Okay.
But
it was good though, or
would it be like, so when I try to scale stuff on like rating, I try to do like, would I rewatch this or was it enjoyable for that one time? Like for instance, just Dragon Ball Z. I would never watch Dragon Ball Z again, but it was super enjoyable.
Yeah. So it's kind of high on your list usually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, what I wanted to ask you about, I'll ask you about Toradora, and I'll ask you about Horimiya. I know it's been a while since you watched both of those.
Yeah.
What would you rate Horimiya? 1 out of 10, like the My Anime list. And then what would you rate Toradora?
So for Horimiya, I just thought it was just like a feel good anime. Like the whole time, I was rooting for the main characters, and I also liked the side characters as well. I liked the little changes between them and how you saw them over time change.
Right.
So I would probably rate that anime, Horimiya, probably an 8, in my opinion. You know, it was really good, but it's not my favorite anime I've ever watched.
Yeah, that's fair.
And now for Toradora, though, that's one of the few anime I haven't really rewatched at all. So I would probably rate that probably a 7. Probably a 7. It's a little bit lower than Horimiya because I just thought it was a much better story. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't really like the ending of Toradora, in my opinion.
See, for me, I would say Horimiya, I would probably rate that probably about a 7.5. I mean, I feel like it's good enough to... I would watch it again. I mean, it's only 12 episodes, so of course I'd watch it again. It's really funny, but I wouldn't... It's not like, oh, I want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Like, there's other shows that I would rather rewatch or actually watch for the first time. I wouldn't rewatch it. But if it was like, I'm running out of material...
Oh, you'd rewatch that?
I'd rewatch it. So I'd say 7.5. Yeah. It was good story. I like the story. It was very funny, like, I think about 90% of the time. The story flowed well. I wouldn't say the story flowed well. But
it was better than Toradora.
Yes. I would say Toradora, I would probably rate about a 6.5, 7. Probably about a 6.7.
Okay.
I would never... Not I would never, but I wouldn't rewatch it. That's no. I didn't like the whole... They were trying to get with other people, and then it all wraps back to them, and then it kind of just keeps doing a circle.
Yeah.
Like, for the whole 25 episodes. It's literally just a circle.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
And it felt like at times, like, he wanted to keep all of them, and then at some times he wanted to keep none of them, or just one of them, or two of them. It was never, like... It was never, like, mutual.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
So, it was a little confusing. I didn't think Taiga was really that funny. I get what they were trying to do, but...
But it just wasn't for you?
No.
Okay. Now, the next anime we have on our list for romance anime is Quintessential Quintuplets. Now, I will not spoil it for anyone that's watching or for you because you don't really know.
No, I watched the 2 seasons.
Yes, you watched the 2 seasons. However, you might have been incorrect on your assumption.
I am not. I even rewatched it after messaging you about it.
Alright, so at the end of the show, there's a scene where the main character kisses one of the characters in the show. And this gentleman next to me, Kyle, thought that it was one of the characters, the girl with the stars.
Also, a little reminder: we're really bad with names, so we're just gonna try describing them as best as possible.
Yes, I'm not very good with it.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't watched some of these in years.
I honestly just go through so many animes so fast I just forget the names.
Yes, every once in a while. But
yeah, so basically the ending is, he's at the wedding with the one of the quintuplets.
Yep.
And you have people in the stands talking and saying, "Oh, on the mountain, I heard that they rang the bell and they kissed."
Mm-hmm.
And the last scene is the redheaded girl with the stars running at the main character, them ringing the bell because he fell over.
Yep.
With her, and they kissed.
Yeah. Now there is gonna be a movie that comes out. I don't remember when it comes out. I think it actually might be coming out soon. I think it's December at some point. The movie's gonna come out, and I don't think there's gonna be another season after it because I'm pretty sure that's just gonna end it off. However,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna inform you of this. You may have been wrong, just because, and now I can't blame you for thinking that because you couldn't have been able to tell the difference. But they all dress up the exact same.
Oh yeah,
while they're
true.
there.
Yeah.
So it literally could have been any of them.
So you know who it is.
Yeah, I know who it is.
You should. I don't even know.
I know who it is, but I'm not gonna tell you, and I don't want to spoil it.
You need to learn to not spoil it for yourself.
Well, what's it called? I do like anime, and if they don't have all the seasons out or something, then I'll either read it or watch someone else read it. You know what I mean? So I just want to know the ending whenever I finish a show like that, especially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so.
No, I've felt that with certain things. Yeah, but what do you think of it? When did you watch it?
I watched it. I watched it when the second season came out, like when it originally came out.
I think that was last year.
Either
or
the beginning of last year or the beginning of this year.
Yeah, it came out in the beginning of this year.
And I actually really liked the show. I thought it was like a harem anime that wasn't really a harem anime. You know what I mean? You could tell that there were some characters that were a little bit over the other ones. However, at some point in the show, they got through every character. You know what I mean? Every character had their moment to shine.
Yeah,
but there were some that were kind of over the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I get the whole hype. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good anime, but I just feel like it felt like it was weird because they were all sisters, you know?
Yeah.
That's why it felt weird.
Yeah, a weird part for, I think, a lot of people on that show is that there's a girl that looks like all of them that he met 5 years ago. You remember that part?
Yeah, it was one of them.
Yeah, it was one of them. But, so for the whole, show, he's looking for that one, kind of. Because she's the only one that he's gonna, he loves or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, but you know who it is.
Yeah, I know who it is. You don't.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, they say.
Well, you know it's two of them. You know two of them.
Yeah, you know the first part of that trip of Kyoko or Kyoto, whatever it is, when they get lost was the ditzy one. It was the ditzy one. That was.
Give me your hair color. Which one is that?
It was the brown one, I think. Or not the brown, but the orangish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was her. And then the second part was the pink hair with the short hair.
Yeah.
The actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then.
That's why she originally falls in love a lot faster and harder than the other ones.
Yep. And then on top of that, there's the the new one, the one that like came back. Remember that one? Do you remember the older version of them? You remember her?
No.
You saw her at the lake.
Oh yeah, that was the redhead with
Yep.
the stars. Yes.
Yeah. So those three are really kind of, you can tell, are kind of above all the other ones starting out, but you don't realize that until towards the end. You know what
Yeah, I guess. I mean, personally, I really want the shy girl to win.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone wants her to win. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, but
I can't even ask who you want to win because you already know who wins.
yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I always wanted the mean one to win,
That was my second one.
or the
yeah.
actress one, because I thought she was very nice. But you can't win them all, apparently.
Yeah.
But you might. I can't tell you.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
What would you rate that anime, if you don't mind me asking?
I would probably rate it about a 7.
Okay.
I would definitely watch that over Toradora.
Okay.
First
And
off, I thought
Horimiya?
what?
And Horimiya?
No, Horimiya, I'd put it like a
Oh,
7.5.
yeah.
But yeah, I would put it at a 7 just because it was good.
Yeah.
It's got enough harem
And
for my liking.
yeah,
It's not over the top like
but it's definitely
others.
up there.
Yes.
Alright, so you just talked about harem anime.
Oh boy.
So the next one on our list is Rent a Girlfriend, which you have some pretty strong opinions on.
Yeah, I think it's super super cringy. I got 4 or 5 episodes in, and I just could not watch it afterwards. It was just way too cringy for myself.
Okay. Now, some might say making a podcast is pretty cringy.
Well, yeah, but I think that anime might be a lot more cringy.
Yeah, so my opinion on it, because I watched both seasons and I completed it, is one, this is one of the few anime that I had I didn't want to find out what happens in the end. One, because it's not out yet, or it might be out now, but when I was watching it, it wasn't out yet. And two, because the main MC of this show is so annoying, it's unreal.
Like oblivious or
He's
not oblivious,
just oblivious.
but no, he's a pussy.
He's definitely oblivious, but he's also an idiot. Okay, now
I'm trying to remember from what I've watched. Is he like he lets anyone no, he tries really trying to change this girl or whatever from being a girlfriend.
God. So the story of that anime is the MC broke up with his original girlfriend, Mommy, and then
Or she broke up with him.
She broke up with him, exactly. And then he, as to get back at her, rented a girlfriend. What the hell was her name? Chizuru.
Mm-hmm.
And she, whatever, they went on a date, and they realized that she was popular because she knows what she's doing. And so he got mad and he made a bad review. But then he went on a date with her again. So I'm like, all right, whatever, sure.
Yeah.
And now he started paying her and whatever. And then after a little while, I think their second date, or it might have been the first actually, he has to go to his grandma's, visit his grandma in the hospital.
That was the second date.
Yeah.
I watched that scene, yeah.
And so he meets the grandma, and both the grandmas are friends, so now they can't not date anymore or whatever. But the whole point is he's still trying to get with his ex, which is a bad sign. I wouldn't recommend it. And so the whole time he's just trying to get back with his ex. And then he realizes he loves this girl, right? He loves the Chizuru. But then, okay, so I would be fine with the show if it was those two, kind of like some other romance anime or anime in general, or just rom-com shows and movies in general, where the guy wants to get with his ex, and the girl promises to help him, but then they both end up liking each other and getting there. I would understand that if the MC wasn't such a pussy about everything, where he's there's one scene in this show where he's trying to decide if he wants to buy her a birthday gift. And I'm not even joking, it's the most annoying scene in a show. he's trying to get a birthday gift for like a full episode, 20 minutes. And at the end, he ends up getting her something that we never saw in the whole show. The one thing that, like, we didn't know, like, you know, he was like, oh, should I get her a hat? And then at the end, he just gives her, like, cupcakes or something. And I'm like, all right.
Was it, like, something that she's ever mentioned before? Or?
No, she never mentioned it. Now, I get why he got it. It was supposed to, like, help her because she was working really hard because she's an actress. Which I don't know if they say in the first episode, but they might. Like, her whole thing is she wants to become, like, a famous actress. And so that's why she does the rent-a-girlfriend thing, is because it's good acting, Mark. Because she's just...
No, they didn't mention that, no.
Yeah. So it's... I would rate it, like, the same as... not... different animal. As Toradora, in my opinion. It's okay. I probably wouldn't watch it again, like, rewatch it, anything. But I'm probably going to finish it because I just have to know how it ends. But actually the most annoying part in the whole show is, as I said earlier, the two girls. Like, I would understand if it was just the two, but they add
it's in the second season.
They add
like
two more.
Yeah.
So there's 4 girls. One of them is in love with him, and is like actually dating him apparently, according to her. One of them is Chizuru, the girl that he's like likes now. One of them's his ex, who knows that he's not actually dating Chizuru.
Yeah.
And then one of them is just a character that has no story yet in the anime.
Even at the end of the second season?
Apparently, yeah, even at the end of the second season. And apparently, I don't know because I haven't watched anyone read it or read it or anything. Apparently, she gets like no more story in the whole show. So... Yeah, it's just like a throwaway character that we didn't even need.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Anyway. Like this, I personally don't think I liked anything about it. There was nothing I said this is a good anime. I thought that the main character was terrible.
He's a bitch.
I thought that the whole story was really stupid.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just did not enjoy the anime at all for the 5 or 6 episodes I actually watched it.
Okay.
Honestly, it's the same thing about like Black Clover. Like, you know how Black Clover people don't like.
Watch yourself. I like that.
No, I love Black Clover, but there's a lot of people that don't watch the anime just for the fact that the first like 30 episodes, the main character is just screaming for almost 20 minutes of each episode.
A lot of people do have that gripe about that anime. Now, we're not talking about Black Clover today.
I understand that, but I'm just giving you an example of like...
Oh, we really get into shonen. So, what would you say you would rate the couple episodes you watched of...
4 out of 10. Terrible.
4 out of 10.
It was better... I've seen worse, but I thought it was terrible.
You know what? I'm going to drop my rating from a 7 to a 6.5. Just because I think it's below Toradora. Because at least I finished both of them, but still. No.
I have a very, like with my rating, I have it very specific where anything under 7, anything under 6.5, I wouldn't watch again.
Okay.
And I wouldn't recommend for anyone. From like a 6.5 to about a 7.5, I like this anime, but I would never watch it again. But I'd probably recommend it. 7.5 to 8, I would. If I didn't have, I would definitely recommend it. If it was something that if I ran out of content to watch, I'd watch it again. And anything 8 out of 10, I would watch at any time.
Okay. So...
Just so you know, my rating system for the future.
Yeah, now I know. So the next anime is an anime I know you haven't watched yet. But I've watched it, and anyone saying anything, alright, I get it.
Is this the recommendation of the week, or
no? This is definitely. This is probably not the recommendation of the week for just straight up romance anime. It might be. It's a good second place, I think.
All right, we're back from a little potty break.
Yep.
So Dress Up Darling. I haven't watched it yet, but I know you actually like it a lot.
I do actually like it a lot.
Yeah.
Now it's not for the scenes everyone's thinking, okay? But,
see, I know nothing about Dress Up Darling.
So, my Dress Up Darling is pretty much a romantic comedy, but the funny scenes in it are actually hilarious, and then the romance scenes in it are a little too much to talk about on anything. So pretty much the show's about this guy, Gojo, who makes dolls, and this girl, Maureen, who wants to become a cosplayer. Right?
Wow, this is already setting up nicely. All right, continue.
Yeah. So it starts off with the guy Gojo just chilling out, doing his thing, and Maureen walks in as he's selling some stuff, and she's like, "What do you think of my cosplay?" And pretty much what he says is, "This is shit." Pretty much. He's like, "This is horrible. You should not wear this anywhere. It's terrible." And he's like, "But I'll do it for you. Right? I've never done it before, but I'll do it for you." And she's like, "Bet." So pretty much
yes, as anyone would say.
Yep. So pretty much the whole first couple episodes are him. Now the MC is a little bit like Rent a Girlfriend in the sense that he's kind of a bitch at the beginning, but he gets more like chill after a while. So she comes to his house, right? And she's like, "Okay, this is the scene where everyone's probably going to be like, bro, this is the only reason I like the show. It's not, I swear. I think it's pretty good overall." Now, she comes to the house to get like her measurements done on like her arms and everywhere else. And he's like, "Oh yeah, whatever. Like, it's nice to meet you. Like, let's figure this stuff out." And she takes all of her clothes off pretty much. She has like a bikini on or whatever. And the animators really went into detail with like how everything moves. You know what I mean?
Oh, like everything's jiggling.
Yeah, everything's pretty much jiggling.
Yes.
And so the main character is kind of like freaking out. There's some funny scenes where like he'll be like next to her, like checking her measurements, and then all of a sudden he'll realize what he's doing, like where he is, and he'll just turn to stone. And so there's like some funny parts in it, but also the cosplays are like, most of them are of pretty raunchy people. So one of the cosplays is of a girl in like one of those like sex games. You know what I mean?
Sex games?
Yeah, like what? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, you ever been on certain websites and it's like, play this game, you won't make it past 10 seconds.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Pretty much that's like what it seemed like to me when I was watching it. So it seemed like the character was from. And so he made the first one in record time. In like she thought it was gonna take him months, and he did it in like 3 days. And so like at the end of it, he's like dying, and she's like, "All right, let's go." So they go, they like do their thing. They're like picking out fabrics and stuff, and like getting all the stuff that they need to actually finish this thing on time.
Right.
And when they finally finish it, she's like, "All right, we'll go to like a cosplay event." So he goes, and he's like, "All right, I just want to make sure everything works fine, all this stuff." And he thinks, like, after this one, like, that's it. They're never going to talk again. She's, like, the popular girl in the school, kind of. And he's, like, the loser no one's friends with.
Right, as all animes go.
Yeah, as all romance anime go. And so, pretty much what happens is she's like, "No, we're going to make more after this." And so, it's pretty much with a very minute like story, like me telling it, they just make more, and they meet new people throughout the like trip and stuff, and do a lot more stuff, make cooler cosplays and stuff. They do a cosplay of like a kids cartoon type of thing, kind of like what the hell, the Powerpuff Girls. It's kind of like that, like the anime that they go off of, but it's
what type of art style is it?
It's a like normal
surrealistic.
No, it's like a normal anime art style. Like the art style reminds me of kind of Rent a Girlfriend art style.
Okay, so like very modern art style right now.
Yeah.
For all those types.
But one of the characters they did was like off of a very minuscule like art style, and he had to kind of figure it out on his own.
Now, when you said the guy went to stone, you know how like some animes they do like they have like the super serious modern like animated anime.
Yep.
And then like something funny will happen, or like they'll get like upset or something, and they'll just turn into like a big mush.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
It's like, so for all the One Piece fans out there, do you remember when Sanji turned to stone in Fishman Island? When he literally just, like, normal art style just turned to stone. That's what it was like. They don't do the, like, making it look funny. It's just, like, a funny thing on its own.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, I would definitely say it's on my list for one of my, probably, one of my favorite romance anime on there. I actually love it. I'm pretty sure the story right now. I don't know the full story of it because I'm pretty sure it's still going on, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna go in a very cool direction. There is one scene where it's kind of like a funny, like weird scene, but that's towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually just recently finished airing dubbed, which is good for you because you only watch dubbed anime.
Yeah, I mean, I just, there's with anime, I just feel like I can't read and watch, so like I can't fully, I guess, go into the scene. I don't know the correct terminology.
Yeah.
I
get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I can't indulge into the scene as much because I'm reading.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to read, and it's like I have both my eyes here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, that's why I try to watch most of the anime dub that I watch, except for Chainsaw Man right now. I love that show.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Could be considered a romance anime if you really look at it.
I wouldn't push yourself there, right? I've heard it's nowhere near that. No. Yeah, I know for a while you've been telling me to watch Dress Up Darling.
Yeah, I really like it. I like the premise. It's really cool. The art style is really good, and it's got some funny scenes.
I feel like with rom-coms, they have to be very specific towards what they're gonna, like, what the main goal. I mean, obviously, all main goals are to get the couple together, but like, is it gonna be like a slow thing, or is it gonna be a very awkward thing? Is it gonna be funny? That like I look for the funny, like how they change the art style. I think those are like usually the better animes in my opinion. Because not only is it showing it like verbally, but like physically, they're showing like an actual change. It's funny, yeah.
Okay.
So I think, I would probably give it a try. Maybe I'll watch it this week.
I would put it over Horimiya. I would put it at Horimiya was an 8 for me. I would put this at an 8.5, maybe even a 9 actually. I really liked it.
It's a high rating.
Yeah.
I feel like with animes, it's.
And it's short so far. It's only 12 episodes. Or 13.
And you said there's a second. Didn't it just come out?
The second season did not come out yet.
No, but the first season didn't come out last year or the beginning of this year?
The dub finished airing this year.
Okay.
Earlier on this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a look.
Definitely give that one a look.
That I have to give. No, I'm not giving Rent a Girlfriend. No.
No, you're not gonna finish that one. The next one though, because we gotta talk about this one.
Yeah, you got the whole list. I came ill prepared for today.
It's alright. The next one on our romance list might be the saddest anime. It's probably up there with the saddest anime made. It's called Your Lie in April.
I know I should watch it.
Now.
Well, okay. So listen, you told me to watch it in May. All right.
I said watch it in April.
Yeah. No, you told me about it in May, and then you're like, oh, you have to watch it in April. Sorry, you gotta wait till next year.
It's part of how it is. All right.
I was really tempted to actually download it and start watching it.
I've only watched it for 1 April so far, so 1 year. And so it was a while ago, but I still remember it because it was that good.
I honestly, what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up watching Your Lie in April, and then after that watch Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden's not on the list, but I have watched it. It's really good.
That's not a romance, right?
Not really, but I'm pretty sure at the end of it's like a weird thing. It's like a romance, not really though.
Alright, anyway.
There's no actual partner in it, but it's like romantic.
Yeah.
Kinda. So Your Lie in April is about this guy who's a pianist. And
penis?
Yeah, and a girl who's a violinist. And
Venice.
yep. And it's been a while since I watched it, so I don't remember the story 100%. But the parts that I do remember is she wants to become the greatest like violinist, and he wants to become the greatest pianist.
Mm-hmm.
But he had kind of a bad moment when he was younger with his family, so he kind of doesn't do it as much or as well as he did back in his past. And so after meeting her, she's like a very outspoken girl and like a very like who cares, I'll do what I want to do, what's enjoyable to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts to open his heart to like getting back into it and getting like to the best he can be. And then towards the end, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but they kind of fall in love with each other and stuff. And this is a very short segment because there's a lot that you just very integral to the story, but it spoils the whole story.
How long is the series?
I think it's 24 episodes. It's only one season. It's pretty short.
Do I have to watch it only in April?
You can watch it other than April, but
I feel like I'd get a lot of hate if I did.
probably not. You might, because a lot of people just say, "Oh yeah, I watch this every April or whatever," because that's what it's called.
Yeah.
In April.
And then isn't there one that's in May too? I know there's another anime that it's something in May.
I don't know. There might be.
Hold on, I gotta look this up because I remember looking at it and I was like, is this like a sequel to Your Lie in April?
I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna be able to find it. I would have to actually know the name.
Yeah. So after finishing that one, which I would definitely recommend that show to anyone. It's very good. It is said, though, so be prepared for that.
Tearjerker?
I
need a good cry.
Definitely a tearjerker, but it still, in my opinion, is a romance anime. The next one on our list you just watched, called Couple of Cuckoos, just came out this year. What do you think of it? Tell me.
Hold on, I gotta remember. What was that? You gotta explain a little bit of the anime. I've watched like 6 or 7 animes.
So it's about this guy who is like the second smartest in his class. He's always been the second smartest, but he's in love with the number one.
Yeah, the number one.
The main girl, top G, as they say. And she like doesn't really at the beginning doesn't really pay any attention to him because she's like, he's not better than me, and all that stuff. And he meets this girl who's rich as hell and was supposed to get married to this guy.
Yes, now I remember it. I don't know why I don't know why I forgot that because I actually really enjoyed that anime.
Yeah, she was supposed to get married to this guy. She's like, "Oh, it'd be great if you were my fiance instead of this random dude I never met."
Yeah,
and then what are the chances?
Yeah, what are the chances?
He's the one.
Yeah,
and then he's got a sister complex.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. I don't want to spoil anything just in case. Well, actually, no. It's fine because we already gave him the viewer discretion at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
I find it weird that the dad's secretly meeting with his sister, even though it's not actually his sister, and he's like, "Oh, you can marry him."
Yeah. And
it's very weird. I get it's cool the concepts they have, how it's intertwining, but it's a little weird because in our culture it's not very normal to have incest.
Probably not.
Maybe,
well, it's not incest really, but kinda.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah, depends on how you view that.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, I feel like stepbro, stepsister vibe is kind of more of an American thing, because we kind of brought this genre into a whole category.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
I don't know if I could say that, but the incest thing, totally Japan, except for the South. South don't count though.
Yeah,
they have their own breed.
We've all been there.
No, I don't think we have it all.
No, I meant down south. We've all been down south.
Well, yeah. Well, that's where we went to college, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. The anime itself, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good for what I was feeling at the moment when I watched it. It was nothing special to me though. I'll be honest.
No, I heard it got a lot of hype too. I was looking a lot on forums and stuff and how good it was. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was good, not great. Exactly. I 100%
I
agree with
I'm wondering if they're gonna make a second season, and if so, what's the actual like what they're gonna do with it?
that. Uh-huh.
Like what path they're you already know, don't you? You already know. Okay, go.
So I don't actually know that much, but I have heard through the grapevine that there's a character in it. Now, I don't know if they've, at this point, because it's been a couple of months since probably a couple of months since I've watched it and, like, really done any research on it. At the time, I'm pretty sure there was no actual character. However, pretty much what the main consensus from a lot of people is they make the main girl, I forgot her name, the like redhead girl or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like very much above everyone else in standing, where like everyone knows she's gonna be the one he gets with. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's already been alluded to. Like he's like, I like her now. You know, whatever. But she has a brother, apparently.
Yeah, that was the thing I had that was a little weird.
Yeah.
That like the whole thing with like originally the main MC guy, he was gonna marry his sister or whatever. His sister becomes like a thing.
Yeah.
Like I guess like a lover, contendant. Contendee.
Yeah.
Like all that. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I enjoyed it, but there was certain things I didn't like. The fact that, like, all of a sudden this random guy comes into the picture, which just so happens to be their older brother, right? Has nothing to do, like, it's not that has nothing to do with the whole story, but like they talk about him for like 3 or 4 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Talk about him for 3 or 4 episodes. One of the episodes, he's at the same house they were at like 2 or 3 days before.
Yeah.
And they just never find him, and he's just gone, and then he's just never talked about again.
Yeah.
But like it's always a lingering thing, how like the main character is kind of replaced by the sister, which I kind of find really weird. You know,
Yeah.
like even before that she knew that like the whole family wasn't their actual, like they weren't blood related. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like crushing on him already, which is kind of weird. And then, like, now I'm remembering, the first episode, the sister of the main MC guy, we should probably look these names up, but whatever, who cares? I think they know what we're talking about.
Yeah, if you just look it up, you'll understand pretty much instantly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard.
Watch one episode.
Yeah, but the first episode, at the very end, she's like, she's just looking at a picture of him and she's like, oh, he's not my brother anymore, and then like she gets all flustered. It's like, all right, that's all it took for you to just change your mind?
Apparently. Yeah.
Jeez.
I would say it's interesting. It's a good enough show where I finished it. I would probably put it on the same level as oh my god, I gotta look at the name. Toradora.
How do you forget? We just talked about it.
I know. I'd probably put it on the same level as that.
I mean, I'm not one to talk. I already forgot probably 90% of the characters' names from the 5 or 6 animes I just watched.
Well, it's hard to remember the names sometimes, especially if they're kind of like names you wouldn't remember. Actually, I just remembered the main character's name, Nagi.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you're zooming through 12 episode, 24 episode
series.
Yeah. It's like, is there really that big of a point of remembering the names? As long as you remember the details.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would say it's okay. It's good, but not my favorite romance anime I've watched, in my opinion.
I think from the past, let's see. I think I would say that out of like the last 20 animes that I've watched, I would say that one had the most hype with the worst. No, I would say top 3, because I thought it was great, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
But like Toradora, I was really expecting better results.
Yeah.
Right, from a rom-com, I was really
expecting a lot more.
Yeah, it had the only thing I could see people liking from Toradora was the realism. Like it was more realistic.
They ran away?
No, not the fact that like the whole, they're trying to figure out who likes who, stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
and like the realization of them coming back to each other. Like I get they're running circles, but like the realization that like the whole story where they started. I feel like that would happen more like in real life,
Yeah.
even though you don't really see that often. But still, I feel like it's the most realistic thing.
Okay.
Like someone coming together to help someone else, but they actually end up liking each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened a lot.
But
Never done me though, sadly.
right, but I was gonna say going back to, what's the show? A couple cuckoos, cuckoos, whatever.
Doing a different job.
That is like completely like out of the spectrum of like realistic rom coms. Cause like
Yeah.
I feel like it was trying to take like a very not serious but like very more could relate to like storyline.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that could relate to that.
Well, no, I don't either. But I'm saying like they weren't trying to just be a normal rom com
Yeah.
or like a fictional rom com.
Yeah,
They were trying to be like serious at some. Their story was trying to be serious with comedic, like standpoint. Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Cause like with like arranged marriages, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Still not as common, but no, it's still a thing. It's not as common. You won't see that.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone, but there might be people out there. If you're out there and you're in an arranged marriage, let me know. I don't know what I'll do, but probably nothing.
Oh, it's okay. It's
All right.
okay.
Yeah,
We'll find them eventually.
Maybe. I want to hear your story. So the next anime on our list is a classic from 2001 that got remade recently called Fruits Basket. Have you watched it yet? Anything?
I just got 2 episodes in.
Okay, so you're very early on to the show.
Yeah.
So this show is pretty much about these 13 like spirits, or the 13 zodiacs, and this one girl who was always like in love with the cat Zodiac when she was a kid.
Yeah, and then she runs into.
And then she runs into all of them.
Yeah, well, the first one's the rat.
Yep.
Yeah, she runs into the rat.
And
I forget how the story went when they explained it because I was a little like preoccupied. I forget what
when they first met.
Yeah,
Or-
no, not when they first met, but like when they first told the story about like I think the rat tried to fool
the rat tricked the cat.
Yeah.
And then therefore the cat's not actually one of the zodiacs, one of the 12 zodiacs. Yep, that's the thing.
And that's why she likes the cat because she felt like the cat was left out or whatever.
Yeah, and she felt like she could relate to the cat.
Yeah.
Now, it's really good in my opinion, and the final season just recently came out. I think this year, it might have been last year.
Actually? Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I know they remade it in like 2011.
The last season, like the final season is what it's called, recently came out.
No, yeah, but I find it weird that like they remade it like 10 years later, and then they actually kept the story going up.
Yeah.
And I've heard it's good.
It is very good. It's pretty much just like one of those. The girl likes the guy. The guy's like doesn't really like her at the beginning. He kind of just thinks she's annoying. And then over time, they start to realize that they connect a lot on a lot of like different topics and a lot of different things. And then he starts to realize by the end of the show, he realizes he like really loves the girl, and he's like okay to do anything for her, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how the story will take off because like it's like 75. Actually, I think it's almost 100 episodes.
It's pretty long.
I'm kind of curious like the story, like how the story's gonna take off. I have ideas though, because like I feel like the way the story will take off is that she's gonna represent the cat, and because he's the rat, he tricked the cat at first. Now he's realizing that he actually messed up in the past.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
All right. That's what you think's gonna happen
from 2 episodes. Yes.
So we hear someone's take on it now, and I'll tell you this much: you're kind of right, but not really. So you think so? What do you? I'm curious what you think is gonna happen.
I don't know what's gonna exactly happen, or like.
Who do you think ends up together? Who do you ship That's what I want to know.
Well, from who I know, I think the cat and the rat get together. That's
Cat and the rat?
Yeah. Well, the girl.
The what? The rat and the girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm considering her the cat because I think she's gonna end
Okay.
up being the cat Zodiac. It makes sense.
I get what
To
you're
me,
saying.
it makes sense because like, oh yeah, she just happens to stumble upon all of them. Just so happens.
Okay, but your one problem with that is there's already a cat Zodiac.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like the cat Zodiac wasn't involved at all, and it's just not a thing.
Okay, so that's your thought process from someone that's only watched a couple episodes.
2 episodes.
2 episodes.
Exactly.
So someone that's finished the show.
No spoilers. Remember, I haven't spoiled.
I know. I don't want to spoil it for you at all, but I'm just gonna tell you this now. It's a very good show. I would say the show's good, and then it gets up to a point where people that have finished the show will know. In my opinion, when the transformation occurs, the show goes from good to amazing. After that happens, you're going to realize the show becomes absolutely great because you realize the lengths some characters will go for others.
Don't tell me when.
I don't even remember what season it is.
Good. Because I want to experience that, and hopefully, because, yeah, okay, yeah, continue.
It's very, very good though, but because I don't want to spoil it for the guy next to me, I think that's probably as much as I can say at this current time on that anime. But when you finish it, maybe we can come back to it in another episode.
Maybe at some point.
At some point. Now, the next anime on this list is another anime you have not watched yet.
Sorry, dude. I have a lot on my list.
It's, in my opinion, probably, it's hard to say, but one of the best anime that's come out romance-wise in the last couple of years. It's called Tonakawa Over the Moon for You. It's just a feel-good story, to be honest with you. It's not like these other ones.
When did it come out?
I think this year. Maybe last year, though.
Okay.
But, so it's about this character. Don't remember his name. But he's the MC, so, you know.
Yeah.
And he's kind of this scrawny little guy who, like, you know, kind of, like, just does his own thing. He works at, like, a convenience store, whatever. Like, he can barely, you know, live his life. Whatever it is. And he made this promise with this girl, like, when he was a kid, that when they both get older, that they'll get married, right? Mm-hmm. He was like, I want to marry you. She saved him from a car accident, like, this whole thing. And after a while, he kind of forgot about her. He was like, yeah, I guess it's never happening. She, like, left that next day, and I never saw her again. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, she's at his door, and she goes, are we going to get married now? And so they get married, right? And it's like, okay, now they're married, they're doing their own thing, like, you know, they're living life. And it's just a really good story now. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a new season of this show. Okay. And I don't know what actually happens, but I've heard rumors or just people's, you know, thoughts on what might happen, that the girl might be able to solo your favorite verse. I'll tell you that.
Wait, how?
She's a god.
But if it's a feel good.
So there's no, like, fighting in it or anything like that. It's like they just go through their normal lives, and you know, they do all, like, couple stuff, you know, like getting stuff for them and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And they kissed, like, for the first time. It was a very cute moment, really. And towards the end, they go to visit his parents. Mm-hmm. And they go to this, like, shrine for this goddess that, like, I think that's why it's called Over the Moon for You. She's supposed to be the moon. Like, that's, she's the god of, like, the moon.
Yeah.
And there's, like, this guy or, you know, this other person who loved her, and they loved each other. But he, like, had to stay on the earth, and she went to the moon.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people think she left, was because she's a god, and she had to, like, go back to where she's from. But they always said they would find each other whenever they were, like, reborn or whatever. and now she's back with him because she knew a lot of history on like the area where his parents lived at the shrine, even though it happened thousands of years ago and no one had any idea.
Right.
So a lot of people think she might be like a god that like found her reincarnated love, and that's what's gonna happen. But I am not sure because I've not read any of it, or heard anything on it really. But it is a very, very good show. There's some funny moments too, like with the sister and such. Not the girl's sister, the sister of one of the characters in the show that they meet. But it is a very good show. I definitely recommend it.
Okay. How many episodes is it?
12.
12.
It's a short show right now.
And you said it came out this year?
Yeah, or last year.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot. I mean, I have so many I have to watch. But, yeah, okay.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend that show.
Alright, sorry, we had another bathroom break because someone decided to drink a little bit.
Well,
we're both drinking, so. You broke the seal, that's why.
Yep, that'll happen to you.
Yeah. Alright, so, to wrap up the show a little bit. Recommended anime. Or anime of the week, you would say.
Okay.
Let's go by genre first. What do you recommend?
So, the anime I would recommend would be a romance anime called Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Yeah, so good.
It's an amazing show.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one.
It has some of the funniest moments in romance anime that I've seen in a while. New season just came out, and the whole premise of the show is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of shows like that nail it on the head, like with their concept. Like everyone has their own concept, but I feel like with theirs, they nailed it right on the head.
With their goal.
Yeah.
And you know what's going to happen by the end, but it's just getting there.
Yeah. Yep. Like, I think, like, within the beginning of the third season, you know where everyone's going to go to. Like, how everything's going to end up. But it's just a matter of when the main character is going to do it. Which I like. Because, everything's awkward. And then you have, like, a very... Like, I think the whole anime is just so funny. Like, just overall, so funny.
Yeah, it's a great show. I would recommend it to pretty much anyone.
I think for 40 episodes or whatever it is, I don't think I've laughed for so much.
Yeah, it's so funny. And it speaks to you. Right? You think about that show, you're like, I really liked it in general and its whole premise.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Yeah, there was... Honestly, I don't have anything bad to say.
Yeah.
I find that very rare for myself. There's very few animes that I could say I have nothing to say bad about it.
I agree.
Like I can't. Like I'm trying to think of something and I can't.
Yeah. Also it's good because you know what you're going into just off the title alone, and it hits the nail on the head for that.
Yeah. Was it Kaguya?
Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Yeah.
So, and the whole time it's a battle, and
it's a literal battle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great show.
All right, so I haven't watched this anime in a while, but I think it's a good recommendation for getting into rom-coms and a little bit of harem style. It's I think it's a good introduction. It's not like some To Love Ru. Like that's a very that's
it.
Yeah. That's another episode. But Date Alive. Have you watched it? You haven't watched it, right?
I've actually watched the first season of it.
Yeah.
It was good.
I like the premise a little bit. It's not like an over the top harem where it's just like tits and everyone's all over each other and this and that. It's like it's a calm version of that. It's good. It's a good way to introduce someone into a harem rom-com because I feel like there's certain ones that are just like over the top, like I said before. It's gentle for the most part. It's got a good storyline. I like all the characters. It's pretty funny too. Okay. And it's got that good like there's some animes like that where like the guy's like very oblivious. And it's like annoying oblivious, but like he's like he's got a good personality with the obliviousness, so it works
Yeah.
and it blends very well.
Okay.
So, yeah,
That's
I
a
would have to recommend that. I think the 4th season just came out.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I plan on watching it.
Okay.
But I would say, for series wise, I would definitely recommend that.
Okay.
That would be something I would definitely recommend. Now, I don't know if you have just an overall recommendation.
So my overall recommendation to watch for this week, going into next week, because we're definitely going to talk about it, is Hellsing Ultimate. So
Yeah, you've been talking about that for. Well, we started watching like an episode or two, I think, 3 days ago.
yeah, a couple days ago we started watching it, you and me, together. But so I've started it. I really, really like it. It's got really funny moments and a pretty overpowered character. And it's just an all-round really good show. It's a little bit older, so I don't think some people might not like how the animation is, because it is a little
Well,
bit
remember,
older.
there's also what was it, Hellsing? Yeah, Hellsing and then Hellsing Ultimate. So you have the Hellsing was in the
2001.
2001, and then Hellsing Ultimate
was 2006, I want to say.
Yeah, so it's a little bit newer. It's better though.
Yeah, the original Hellsing I wouldn't recommend watching. You can watch either of them, but the original Hellsing has the beginning is the same as Hellsing Ultimate. However, it's not canon. So I would definitely recommend just watching Hellsing Ultimate. It's a little bit newer. We actually started by watching the original Hellsing because we thought it was a season 1, season 2 type of thing. We figured out pretty soon that it was not.
Yeah, it was kind of like me with Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, he watched Full Metal Alchemist, the original, before he realized you can just watch Brotherhood.
Yeah, and then I watched Brotherhood. I had to take a year off though before I did that. But
yeah, I would definitely say watch Hellsing Ultimate. We're all gonna watch it here, and then we're gonna probably talk about it next week.
yeah, let's see. My plan to watch for this week is gonna be Your Name. It's a movie.
Okay.
Came out. It didn't come out recently, I think.
Or
Or actually, no.
a couple years ago.
I think it came out in 2016.
Yep.
It's a movie by. Let me look it up real fast so I don't get my information wrong. I don't really know a lot about it, but you did recommend it, and I've heard phenomenal things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 2016. It's an hour and 46 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it's
haven't watched
award-winning drama,
Yeah.
romantic, subtext, and supernatural.
Yeah, I have not watched it, but it's also in my plan to watch. I'm gonna watch it this week after I finish Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch. I think I might watch this before I watch Hellsing Ultimate,
Okay.
and then yeah, I'll have to get back
I
to you
heard
on
the
those.
movie's absolutely amazing though.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, Comics Wave Film. I'm pretty sure they made some pretty good animes in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, they've made Tenki no Ko. Oh, was it
Wait.
Weathering with You? I've heard that's really good. That's another one I haven't watched.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an example. Like the page stopped loading. So
So yeah, that's our plan to watch for this week, and also our recommendations for this week.
yeah,
In the comments, or if anyone actually watches this, tell us what you think of them, or if you've watched them, tell us what you thought of them. And that's, I think, pretty much everything we wanted to talk about this week. Am I wrong?
yeah. I mean, I could talk about anime for a while.
We all could, but we can't do it in one episode. I'll tell you that much.
No, that's why we do it in the secret cellar.
Exactly.
All right,
That's why we're down here.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you, motherfuckers!